How are you this week?
Hi, Don. I'm doing pretty well. It's been kind of a busy week for me, but I'm surviving, so I can't complain.
Right. So it's kind of hard to believe that it's been a whole week since we did catch up last.
I know.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, to get started, I thought maybe we could try a relaxation breathing technique. Does that sound okay to you?
Yeah, that sounds great. I could use a little relaxation in my life right now.
Me too. So, are you familiar with the 4-7-8 technique? And it's just basically that you're breathing in for 4 seconds and then holding your breath for 7 and then exhaling for 8.
Oh, okay. I don't think I've heard of that one, but I'm willing to give it a try.
Okay. Well, to start with, you'll just take and hold your tongue kind of at the back of your teeth, like on that ridge of, oh goodness, my brain's not working here, but just on that flesh kind of between your teeth and your gums there on the back side. And so anyhow, just hold your tongue up against that and just when you breathe in, just breathe in for 4 seconds, just a kind of a mental count. So just 1, 2, 3, 4, and then hold it for 7. And then when you exhale, you should kind of have a whoosh kind of sound and just exhale with that tongue still being there. So it's just we'll just repeat that a couple of times there. I hate to catch you there in the middle of the breath or whatnot, but we'll just repeat that there a couple of cycles, and then when you're good, just let me know.
Okay.
So how does that feel?
I think I'm good.
Okay. All right. Well, I just wanted to reiterate that these sessions are totally confidential, and it's just important to know that what we talk about just stays between you and I and everything. I want you to feel like you're in a safe environment there or whatnot. So, and then I also wanted to make sure that it was okay to take notes again.
Yes, absolutely. I don't mind at all. Okay. I'm a note taker myself, so I completely understand.
Okay. So how has your week been?
It was pretty busy. I've, been staying busy here at my full-time job, and then I took my daughter to go see my parents up in the Dallas area this past weekend. So I also had a business meeting Saturday morning with one of the insurance companies that I'm contracted with. So it was kind of a busy weekend, but it was nice to see my parents, and I know they enjoyed seeing the grandbabies. So it was pretty good. And then it's already been a busy week for me, so just trying to stay afloat.
Right. And it's only Tuesday.
I know. That's the sad part.
Right. Right. Well, so I was just curious, how often do you work with the National Guard? What kind of a load is that on your day-to-day?
Usually I just do one weekend a month. We had some new people come into, like, in a command position, just kind of took over. So they're changing things up a little bit, and they're trying to extend some of our drill weekends so that they're 3 or 4 days long instead of 2 days. And then there will be a month or two here or there where we won't have drill at all. So that's been, a little bit of a change. And then they're also trying to get us more involved, in between those drill weekends, which for myself, at least, it's pretty hard because, I work full time. I have a health insurance agency on the side. I go to school full time. I have a family. So it's kind of hard trying to fit in that extra, National Guard stuff in between, but I'm doing the best I can, and, they haven't yelled at me yet, so I can't be doing too bad.
Right. So. Are they pretty workable around your schedule? Or
Yeah, for the most part. I mean, because they understand that, it's not a full-time status. So usually they're pretty good about it. But some of our command people are actually full-time on the military side, so they're full-time with the National Guard. And so they do wear the uniform every day. And so every now and then they kind of have a hard time, understanding why it's so difficult to work these things in around, our already busy civilian schedule. So, most of the time, though, they're pretty flexible with things.
Right.
So, not terrible.
So do you have a good support system then with your husband and just taking and juggling life, I guess, but work and that and your baby and everything? Does that work out fairly well, or is that pretty stressful for you?
It generally works out pretty well. My husband did 17 years active service with the Army, so he completely understands, all of this extra National Guard stuff, and he's actually pretty helpful because he has a lot of knowledge that I don't have yet. So he's able to help me with a lot of the tasks that they assign to me, and he is actually very involved and helpful with the baby, so that's great because I know a lot of times dads are kind of on the back burner when it comes to helping out with the kids, but he helps out as much as he can when he's not busy working. So thankfully, hunting season just ended. He's a taxidermist. So hunting season just ended a couple weeks ago, I think, and so it's slowed down a lot for him now. Now he's just kind of trying to get caught up on, the mounts and stuff that they took in this past year. So he's home a lot more than he was there during fall and winter.
Mm-hmm.
So that's nice.
Yeah. So how have you been feeling physically? I know you mentioned the last time that we talked that you had some issues with your neck and your back. Has that been anything that's been out of the normal for you, or?
It's pretty much been the same as far as that goes. I haven't been able to reschedule my appointment that was canceled due to weather. So I've just been kind of dealing like that as I normally do. Other than that, I'm feeling pretty good. I'm still working on incorporating more fruits and vegetables in my diet, so I feel like I've been doing pretty good with that, which makes me pretty happy. Still haven't quite gotten into the exercising part, but that's, that'll come time. I know that I'm, ready to start it. I just haven't been able to figure out how to work it into my schedule yet.
Right. Well, it sounds like you have a pretty full plate.
Just a little.
Right. Well, is there anything specific that you'd like to talk about today?
Gosh, I don't really know. That's a really hard one to kind of figure out. I feel like we've touched on some really good points. I don't know. I'm sorry. I'm having a hard time. It's just, like I said, I've been so busy today that, I had a hard time trying to, kind of prepare for this session and kind of, get mentally ready for what I wanted to talk about. I really like that you asked me about, the National Guard stuff, because that's something that's been, not really more of an issue, but something that I've been working more and more into my schedule, and so that's been a little bit stressful, and honestly, trying to get my diet better is something that, I've really been concentrating on because I haven't been able to fit the working out yet into my schedule, and so the nutrition is the easier thing for me to try to fix right now. I'm really happy with my progress on that so far, and I've been feeling better, physically, and that makes me feel a little bit better mentally, and I guess emotionally as well. So, I don't know, I guess that's...
Yeah. I
don't really have a whole lot to go with today.
That's okay. But, I think that's really great, though, that you recognize that you can take and make those changes with your diet right now, that you're not maybe to a point to where you can start incorporating in diet and the exercise, but you know that you recognize that you can do that with your diet right now, and that's awesome that you're able to take and work on that. 'Cause it does. It gets hectic, and it sounds like you've got a really busy schedule and just activities happening every day, and it can be really tricky trying to take and tackle those things. So that's awesome.
Thank you. I appreciate that because I do have probably too much going on right now. One thing that helps is I was taking, I don't know if I mentioned this in our first session, but I was taking an online course for the military, and that actually ended this past Friday. So that's like basically another class that I'm just kind of finished with, and so it's a little bit less homework, I guess you could say, that I have to worry about. So that's kind of nice. Not gonna lie about that. So, like I said, one less thing off my plate for the time being. So
right, yeah. Well, I think anytime that you can have a family and a career, and then you've got basically 2 careers happening there with your National Guard and then what you do with your health insurance. I think kudos to you. So
thanks.
Yeah.
I'm doing the best I can.
Yep. Well, so out of this week, was there anything that kind of struck you as being just really, really great that just kind of made your whole week?
Wow. Honestly, I think the best part so far this past week has been finishing that Army course, because it actually was kind of stressing me out, especially when I found out that the end date was this past Friday and not this coming Friday like I thought it was. So that was an interesting couple of days trying to kind of scramble to get everything finished in time, and I feel like I did pretty well with it. The baby's been kind of sick. She's having some allergies going on, so I haven't been really sleeping that well because she hasn't been sleeping that well. So, that's been fun. I think you might have kids, so you probably kind of understand how that goes sometimes. But yeah, I mean, that's really been, sadly to say, kind of the high point of this past week is finishing that course and knowing that I don't have to worry about it. So now I'm just waiting to see if I passed it and I get to go to the remainder of the course, which is in resident, and that'll be in San Antonio. It's starting the end of March.
Oh, good.
So I've got a little bit of a break.
Yeah, I'm sure that's welcomed.
Yes, it definitely is.
Yeah. Well, good. So tell me kind of some of your goals about future endeavors.
Well, I definitely want to continue with this, more balanced diet that I've been working on lately. I've also still been really good about staying hydrated, because that was definitely becoming an issue for me, not drinking enough water throughout the day. And then really my biggest goal is to start trying to incorporate some kind of exercise into my day, even if it means like doing push-ups and sit-ups, next to my desk while I'm here at work. If that's the only thing that I can fit into my schedule to start with. And then hopefully I can get myself motivated by doing that to where I will get up a little bit earlier in the morning and work out in the morning before I, come to work. Because after work, it's just, there's no way it's going to happen. And then I don't have a long enough lunch break really to go do anything and get anything productive done during lunch. So I think that's probably my biggest goal.
So would like little life hack things on how to incorporate fitness in throughout your busy day, would those be helpful items for you?
Yeah, I would definitely be interested in, seeing what works for other people who, have a tight schedule like I do. I'm always, when it comes to health and fitness and all that stuff, I'm always interested to learn new techniques, new exercises, things that work for other people, so I can see if they will work for me as well.
Right.
So, yeah.
Right. Okay. All righty. Well, I just looked at the time there, so I think we're fairly good on that and everything. So I don't know, should we go ahead and schedule our next session now?
Yeah, we can definitely do that. I'm actually really great for about this time next Tuesday, if that works for you again as well.
Yeah, we can sure do that.
Okay. All right. Perfect. So, sounds good. Next Tuesday, 12 o'clock my time.
Okay. Sounds
Central time.
perfect.
All right. I will see you then.
Okay. You have a great week, and thank you so much.
Thanks, Dawn. You do the same.